There are three ways that we can type CSS in. We know that we can do it inline inside of the tag, like inside the parent tag of an H1. We know that we can do it internally inside the head by creating an actual style tag. So if we create a style tag here, we can type inside that style tag and apply CSS. We also know that we can do an external style sheet like they did up here for bootstrap.min.css using a link tag to link in an external style sheet. So let's kind of check this out. If I go within the H1 tag, I can go ahead and specify a style right in there by doing style =, and quotation marks. I can then go ahead and type whatever I want, like color = red. That will override the CSS of the Bootstrap and apply red to the page for that Hello World H1. What's important to note is that this is going to apply last. Remember, it applies in the order that it's read. So the Bootstrap is going to apply first, then our internal style sheet, then an inline style sheet. So if this overrides a setting in the Bootstrap, it's going to apply because it's the last thing the computer read. In addition, I'm going to go ahead and go into the style and show you that if I call upon the H1 and type inside curly brackets a font family of, let's say, Papyrus, I will see that that will also apply to the page, overriding the Bootstrap. This is important to note because you can apply Bootstrap and then override it with your own CSS at any time. So one other way we can do this is by doing an external style sheet. So let's go ahead and go to File and New. And this time we're going to create a CSS file and put that in here. We're then going to go save this CSS file, so File, Save As, and make sure you're in the same folder for your example website next to your index, and we're going to go ahead and put EX Website Styles and save that. That is now called EX Website Styles.css, and I can go ahead and close it. Because now what I'm going to do is link it in here. So after Bootstrap CSS, I'm going to link in mine. So I'm going to put a note here, and to put comments, again, you open up with a caret bracket, exclamation point, dash, dash, my CSS file, dash, dash, close carets. I'm then going to do a link tag, just like they did above. And in this link tag, I'm going to first tell the computer what relative type of file is it, REL, for a style sheet. Then I'm going to go ahead and put an href. And when I put href in a hyperlink reference to a file, EX Website Styles will pop up once you type your quotation marks. You can then link that in there and go ahead and apply styles within it. So I'm going to go File, Save, and you should see EX Website Styles pop up. I'm going to go ahead and close this and reopen it because mine had double, and I want to make sure it only has it once. So now I should be able to go in here and apply, let's say, an H1 style of text decoration and do underline, and that should apply to my H1. So notice all three things are applying because they're affecting three different settings of our H1: the color, the font family, and the actual text decoration. If I wanted to apply, let's say in this style, a color of blue, you'll see that it doesn't work. And the reason is because the computer is first reading the Bootstrap CSS, then my CSS, then the internal style in the head, and then the inline style in the H1 tag. So the red is going to apply last. If this inline style wasn't here, so taking it and deleting it, it would then be blue. If I applied it in my CSS over here to be a color of red, you'll see that that doesn't apply because the blue is still overriding because it's an internal style. So if I delete this internal style here, you'll see that it goes back to red because that's applying from my CSS on my external style sheet. Notice the font is now coming through because I deleted that font, and it's pulling from the CSS on the Bootstrap. This is important to note because the order that things get applied in is really useful, especially when you're trying to override your Bootstrap. So now that we have an external style sheet and our own index file, I'm going to go ahead and save both of them, and I should be able to now bring in whatever Bootstrap codes I want to, and then be able to override the style if I want to.